Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is just downloading the files for this attract mode theme. So in the link I sent, it's to an iCloud link, and you'll see a theme there called OTHROC, attract mode theme, which is over the top, thirsty, ridiculous option choices. And you'll understand why if you watch some more of these videos. So inside that folder, there's two other folders. So inside attract mode, there's a layouts folder and a menu art folder. You need to download all this, but we'll talk about that in a sec. So layouts is very small. There's just two files. They're zipped up. There's a main menu theme and a systems theme, and they are different. So you need to grab both of those. They're not very big. You might be a bit blown away by this menu art folder, and we'll explain why there's so much and all this sort of stuff. But there's actually 24 zip files here, and I don't know how many gigabytes. It could be 30. I don't know. That's a lot. But you'll see there's Chiba, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's six each of four different theme styles. So there's Chiba, Cyberai, Pixia, and Whymoreai. You'll understand that in a minute. So download all of these. In saying that, if you just wanted a cyber look, you could just download these files. But the problem is in the theme, if you select, go, oh, I want Pixie style, it'll all break because, oh, I don't have the media. So just grab them all, and so you download all those files. Okay, so once you download all those files, obviously you need to unzip them and put them into your attract mode folder. So I'm in my attract mode folder. Now my folder is called AM plus ver 302, whatever, but whatever your attract mode folder is called, you'll see a whole heap of folders, but there's only two folders I really want to talk about. There's layouts and menu art. So quickly, I'm just going to go into layouts, and you'll see the two themes here. Don't worry about these zip ones. Actually, I might even delete them. OTHROC main menu, OTHROC systems menu. So that's where they're put. There's not a lot of stuff in these, but yeah, you don't need to worry about that. So that's where the layouts go. Now back in the attract mode folder in the menu art. Again, I'll change the view, make it a bit better to see. And you'll see you've got the Chiba, Cyberai, Pixia, and Whymoreai. Oh no, we'll go on the side one. So those files, you remember how there were 6 of each of the cyber ones? So when you unzip them, you'll see 60 folders. So there's about 10 folders in each one. I think 4 of them have 10, one has 9 and one has 11. But yeah, so that's all the files. So in menu art, Cyberai, you need 60 folders. Chiba, 60 folders. Pixie, 60 folders. Whymoreai, 60 folders. Okay? Okay, let's have a look inside these menu art folders. So let's go into the cyber one. 60 folders in here. Albums, arcade bar top, cocktail upright. They're just images. Then you get things into options like backgrounds. There's 5 background choices. Bit more media. We've got categories where they're platformers, etc. Characters. Cube wheels. So cube wheels are square-shaped wheels. Wheel art, okay? So there's 10 options of those, a bit more media, flyers. Then we get into horizontal wheels. Now, horizontal wheels are, horizontal shaped wheels, or standard sort of shaped wheel art. There's 10 options of those as well. Got machines, pointers, pop boxes and things. There's some snap frames. So there's 6 options of snap frames. And these are only used in main menu, not in systems, but as an example, yeah. Sorry, it's a bit blurry because it's got to load all this stuff, but um, and sorry, I'll go back to there because what I want to say, why is there so many? So, well, why would there be 500 of these? Because they're actually personalized per system. So Acetronic MPU 2000 or Amstrad CPC. It's all right. So um, Yeah, so we're up to snaps, and there's snowballs and TVs. There's vertical wheels as well. So there's 10 options of those. And you probably figured it out what a vertical wheel is, but it's a vertical shaped wheel like that. Okay. And then there's years, so determines what um, year the game is. So that's all the media. What I will say in each one of these folders, so if I go into, I don't know, horizontal 5, these ones, there's 500 wheels in here. Now I'm covering 500 systems, and that's because I'm mates with David Marty from Texas, and he's added tons of computers and stuff. So there's lots of systems, collections, etc., arcades, consoles, handhelds, hacks, all that stuff. The downside of what I've done with this thing is if we want to add a new system, I've got to somehow create over 200 images manually, which is a big job. But anyway, so in each folder, you'll see 500 images. So as an example, what I will do, while we're in this cyber one, I'm going to do a search for Atari 2600. Just so you can see all the different options. So there's 58, I think. Now the reason there's not 60 is because 2 of those 60 were year and category. All right, so album, bar top, cocktail, upright. Then we have, remember those folders we went through? Backgrounds, boxes, character 2. Then we get into cube wheels. I've forgotten the name of this one. Flyers. Then we get into horizontal wheels, systems 1 and 2, pointers, pop box, promo, frames, snap frames, okay, snowballs, TVs, vertical wheels, and no years, obviously, because like I said, yep. So that's all the images. So again, let's go Atari 7800, and you'll see a similar sort of response. So yeah, now you'll see there's a lot of things. Oh, they look a bit similar, right? It's because I've used sort of this sort of same art in lots of these images, but the image itself, the overall design of it's a bit different. But that's doesn't matter because in the options of the theme, you're going to be picking one. You don't pick 5 different horizontal wheels. It's like, oh, I want this one. So that's the one you see. It's like, oh, I don't like that one. I like this one. Oh, no, I like this one. Yeah. Or with the characters, you could say, I just want a standard character design. Oh, no, I want one with this little thing in the background. Or there's other things you could add. Oh, no, I want a pop box or a snowball. Things like that. Okay, let's have a quick discussion about these options. So with a keyboard you press tab, but you'll have to set that up on your controller, but you go into layout options is where we're going. Okay, so theme artwork style, this is where you pick whether you want Cyberai, Pixia, Chiba, Whymoreai, and that's the overall style. So every single image in there has a different vibe about it, depending on what you pick. The wheel shape, let me just go back a step so you can see the wheel shape there is that sort of long, skinny. What that means is that's a landscape, or cube, which means a square wheels, or portrait, which is sort of the vertical, so it's sort of like landscape but vertical. So when you pick that, that does change the overall look and feel of the theme as well, potentially. So we'll just leave it landscape for now. So layout design, there's 33 different ones. And when we say there's 33 different ones, there's 33 cube ones, there's 33 landscape ones, and 33 portrait ones. So there's 99 different sort of layouts. So we just leave it at number 1 at the moment. Now, because you've got cube, landscape, portrait choices here, this is where you dictate what wheel will be used in the view. And every wheel option has 10 different ones. So there's 10 horizontal wheels, there's 10 cube wheels, there's 10 vertical portrait wheels. Okay. So I mean, if I change the vertical wheel now, that doesn't change anything because I'm in landscape option. I've cut this down a bit. There's only really one option here. It's a pointer, so it actually, there's a little, I'll turn that on actually for now. There's a pointer that points to the selected wheel, which I'll point out in a minute. Backgrounds, there's 5 different choices for every single theme style, etc. Background overlays. What that does is it puts a little overlay over the background. It sort of darkens it up because some of the themes, the background might look a little bit bright, so that might be useful. On lots of layouts, there's just a logo, and there's all different options here. You can pick, you know, pick none, cube wheels, horizontal wheels, pop boxes, promos, all these other ones. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that. I know I'll pick horizontal 7. Now, most themes, there's sort of 2 main images to decorate things. Characters and machines is the most common thing that's used in the gaming sort of industry, but here you can have flyers, display cab, TVs, pop boxes, promos, etc. And I'll demonstrate all this in a minute what they are. There's an option here for Snap and Snap 2. Now, I've got 2 different versions of every Snap for every system, so you'd obviously have a folder in the menu bar called Snap, and another folder called Snap 2, so you can choose. We'll just leave it at Snap. Snap frame or border, 6 different options. I'll demonstrate what they look like in a minute. If you use description, which is we'll show in a minute as well, you turn the description on, but you can change the font color, and there's also 50 different fonts to choose from. Okay, so let's just have a little bit of a look at the theme and then we'll demonstrate some changes. So, can you see on the left hand side there, when I move it, a little pointer jumps in, so it points to the wheel art, so you sort of, it's highlighting which one you're on. Bottom left hand corner, you'll see a little character dude with his fists. Okay, so that's the character. The big one on the right is obviously the machine choice. We've got the snap frame, so that's the sort of blue and purple magenta shape around the video snap, and at the top is the logo. So just look at all that. You got the little dude there, and then the Dreamcast machine, and that logo type, that frame. What we're going to do, we're going to go into options. We're going to change a few things. Let's leave all the vertical and all that sort of stuff. But what I'm going to do, oh, I didn't point out the background area. Let's change the background to background 5. Let's change the logo to a pop box. Let's change that character image to a, I don't know, an arcade upright. Let's change the big machine to a, there's one called, we'll call it Snowball so you can really identify it. Okay, snap frame, I'm going to change it to 4. We'll worry about this in a minute. I'll demonstrate the tech stuff in a minute. Go back, and this should look quite different. Okay. Oh, we didn't change the wheel art. Damn it. Okay, let's go change this to... Oh, okay. So that'll change the wheel art. Yep. Okay. So you just got the upright arcade in the bottom left. The snap frame is now like a monitor TV. This big snowball. And you got a pop box up the top. Now you change all those things, and there's 10 options in each, and heaps to choose from. To change the complete look, let's change this from Cyber to Pixie. See? Completely look different. Oh, and the background's different too. We didn't point that out. But this is still arcade and Snowball and Popbox, etc. But even there, they're all designed different. The Pixie versus Cyber versus the other options. So quick look at Chiba. See, there's that, and this one. Whoop, no, too quick. Wrong one. There. So they're all the different looks. So just while we're here, I'm just going to go back to the original look so you can visualize it. Let's have a quick look at it, what it looks like. Yep, okay. The last thing we want to talk about here is the description stuff. Let's just enable that first and see what that means. There you go. See how now we've got sort of like a flyer that's got a text description. And then this is a good example because it's quite long. After eventually it'll start to scroll the text. Now just have a look at that font style and the color. See how it's like a light sky blue and that sort of roundy shape. You can change all that. Oop. We might change this to lime. And there's so many fonts. Some of these are good, some of these are better than others. Let's just pick font number 40, see what that looks like. Wait for it to bounce in. There we go. That's what it looks like. Okay, so what we'll do, now we're going to jump into just turn fly off. So that means these two are relevant now because I've turned, not fly, description. I've turned the description off. I don't know, let's snap frame 2. Okay, extra images. Let's change this to arcade upright, and then I'm going to change this to, I'm going to do characters 2. Now characters 2 is same as the character, but it has this colourful explosion thing sort of behind it. Logo, I think the horizontal wheels work the best for logos, but let's pick that. Backgrounds 2 maybe, wheel pointers are always good. Wheel art, I don't know, let's pick wheel art 9. Let's just have a quick look at this first. Okay, so that's what it looks like. We do know I can change this to Pixia or Chiba or Whymoreai, and it'll all completely change. But the one thing we haven't looked at yet is the layouts. I think if you remember, in landscape, there's 33 different ones. Alright, so let's look at what 33 looks like. Completely different. I don't know, 25. It's like a book. Oh, but look at this. Here you go. This is where the options, depending on the one you pick, you might need to change some things. 2 arcade machines? I don't think so. Now that's because in this particular layout, the top arcade machine is hard coded in. It'll always be there. So you just go in here. Let's change this to something else like an albums. There you go. Alright. Another quick look at just another layout, and then you get the gist. There's so many. Right. Okay. You see how the album is there now? Because I picked album, so it's the extra, one of those extra images is always an album. Excuse me. Okay. Now, actually, on this view, I don't know if you actually noticed, but there's actually 11 snap videos. Do you see them? All the little ones as well? Okay. Now, one last thing we want to talk about here is this. I'm going to go back to the number 1. We're still in landscape. let's leave. If we can leave everything else the way it is, let's look at it. Okay, that's what it looks like. Now we're going to pick cube wheel shape. Now remember, we've got cube wheel 1 picked in here, so let's just see what happens. Completely different. But you see the wheel art on the left is sort of a square shape. I don't know, layout 9 in cube. Yeah, let's leave the cube wheels. Completely different design. You see the wheel art, the cube wheel art on the right. What we'll do, let's see what number 2 looks like. Completely different. Yeah, I think you get the feel there, but let's just look at one more. Pick some random number. This one, that's just me. I wanted to demonstrate some of the media. Alright, okay. And we'll have a quick look at portrait. Let's go back to 1, just to see what the first one looks like. Vertical wheel 1's fine. Okay, you see the wheel shape down the bottom is vertical. That's option 1. But again, let's go to layout 7 of portrait. What does it look like? There you go, 4 snaps, characters, etc. Okay, so look at what it looks like. We might enable the description just to see what that looks like. There you go. Now, is lime color and that text sort of font suitable? It's alright, but let's pick a darker one, like dark green. Let's pick font 32, see what that looks like. Yeah, no, terrible. Hard to read. I might pick dark blue. And I'm going back to font 1 because I know it'll be fine. There you go. Okay. So that's that. I think we'll run through just about everything. Oh, let's change the vertical wheels so you can see some of the other options. Number 8. See that. 5. Yeah, all looking pretty cool. But then it's like, oh, let's go to this look and feel. It'll look completely different. Oop, might pick this one. Different again. And I think that's it. So the whole point of all these options is to give you can pick something that you like, but also some things look better than others, I suppose, depending on what options you pick. And because there's so many options, yeah, it's yeah. Actually, while we're here, I just really quickly, I just noticed something you'll see in this one. See in the background, there's those sort of darkish lines over the background. That's that background overlay to darken it. So take a look at that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it off just so you can see the difference. Yeah, see it's not there now. It's up to you whether you like it or not. And I'm actually just going to change the background now so you can see that the background's changed. Oh, this is the wrong layout. It's got a bit of an overlay over the background. Okay, can't pick it up. What does number 1 look like? There, the background. It's a bit hard to see, but I think there's 2 big dolphins in the background. Background's different. background's different again. Anyway, guys, that perfect example again. See the text color on the right, the dark blue in this particular choice doesn't look good. So we need a light color. Let's pick pink, see what it looks like. Wait for it to bounce in. There you go. Alright, hope you enjoy it. Okay, we're going to jump in and have a look at the systems theme. Let's go into TurboGrafx 16. So completely different setup from the main menu theme to this one. All your options, etc. are independent of each other. Okay, so this one obviously you got the game wheel art or the ROM wheel art on the left here. So you don't really change that. That's just whatever you've got. Okay, you've still got the pointer option on the left hand side. We've got a few things, other things like, you know, the category or the genre, etc. Year, card art, box art. You've got some other character images as well, and a bit of text explanation and stuff. So anyway, some of this is similar to the other theme, but some of it's very different. So let's have a look at the options. Now this one, there's 50 different layout options. And now let's just quickly change it to 50 and see what it looks like. Completely different. Let's just have a quick look at a few random ones just to see what they look like. Yeah, that one's, yeah, the snaps all weird shaped and stuff at the top. Okay, just while we're here, okay, we're in Cyber, as you know, so this principle is the same as the other main menu theme. If we change this to Pixie, it'll be the same design, I guess, but completely different look. Let's have a look at Chiba as well. Yeah, so that's how that works. Okay, back to the options. We'll go back to 1, so keep it consistent. Okay, wheels or text. Let's go back and have a quick look. Wheel art on the left hand side. What this option does is if you don't want wheel art and you just want text, the ROMs or games are displayed as text. Okay. Wheel curve, obviously irrelevant if you've picked text. If you picked wheel art, I'll go back to wheel art, and it was curved before. Let's turn the curve off, and the wheel art is now straight up and down, vertical on the left hand side. wheel count. This is how many wheels are actually on the screen. If I cut this back to a much smaller number, you'll see the difference. You might like that style better. Wheel pulse and wheel pointer pulse. Let's have a quick look at them. The selected wheel and pointer, see how they're sort of pulsing in view? You can turn that off if you want. I'll turn that off, and then that's the pointer, whether you want the pointer on and off. Yeah, sometimes looks good, sometimes doesn't. Background, this is where same 5 background choices as the main menu. Background overlay again, like the main menu. Like the main menu, you've got these extra images. I don't know, let's change to an arcade cocktail machine. And maybe we'll change this to a thing called promo, which I'll show you what it is in a minute. And the logo, can't see it right now, but at the top of the screen there's a logo. Let's change that to number 2. Let's just have a look at that for now. Arcade cocktail, bottom right. Then top left, that one with the little character in front of the sign. The top left of the video snap, that's called a promo. We can leave that like that for now. We didn't look at the logo, but it was the top. I saw it there. Okay, system description font. So this font stuff, yeah. Again, you got 50. Let's pick font 10. Now, it's easily identifiable. What we'll do is we'll pick maybe orange. The color may not suit, but just so you can identify. And the second, we got primary font color and secondary font color. So primary, we're picking orange. Secondary, we're going to pick dark green. So orange and dark green. Let's just focus on that for now. Down the bottom of the screen there, do you see it? And what I'll actually do while we're looking at this stuff is I'm going to enable, take away the wheel art and use text. And I know this color is not going to be great. Okay, so I think the dark green's not too bad, but the orange is not working. So let's pick, what will we pick? Something a bit boring, like charcoal. And for the selected one, what does maroon look like? Okay, you can see it's a bit easier to see. I don't love that font, but so I'm going to get back to the font I like. Okay, so with font color, you can see maroon. So on the left on the wheel or ROM choice, that's the selected one. And then in the description and stuff down the bottom of the screen there, you can see we've got the grey sort of and the magenta colours there. So that's how you pick the font colour, font colour and font type. There is an option here to pick the font size. So look at all the fonts there. Go into the options, go down the bottom, and you can pick different font sizes. Now we were 015. I'm going to pick the biggest one and see what happens. Ooh, font's completely larger. But you can see on the left hand side, yeah, that's not working. It's way too big. Wonder what it looks like if we pick the small ones. Probably way too small. But depending on what layout option you chose, whatever bigger or smaller font sizes might suit. Yeah, see, yeah, maybe you like that. I don't know. Okay, so let's change to Cyberai. Let's go to wheel art. Let's curve the wheels. Let's have 13 wheel counts. Let's turn on the pulses. Let's change the background to background 2. Extra image, let's make it a character 2. Extra image 2, let's make it a machine 2. Logo style, let's pick 7. And the font stuff, oh yeah, no, it is relevant because some of them have the description stuff. Okay. Excuse me. Right. That's the look and feel of all that. I'm going to change this to Pixie, and we're going to pick layout 14 just randomly, see what happens. Completely different. Now this is what I will say. I took away the curve option from the main menu because it's either looks good or it doesn't on lots of them. I think curve looks terrible on this one. So I'm going to turn off curve. And the wheel art on the bottom right looks much better to me. Okay, that's not looking too bad. See the background, that's got all the little repeated image. In Pixie, that's background style 2. If I change that to 4, what does that look like? It's a repeat, but it's a different character. What does background 5 look like? Oh, it's the system. Okay. I think 1 and 2 are very different. Not in Pixie, they're not actually. There we go. Okay. Another quick look. Something. Chiba. Oops. No, not wheel count. Where am I going too fast? Layout 20 and Chiba. What does it look like? This. See, font color choice doesn't work here. Maroon, we need a light colored one. Let's try mint. There you go. Now I can see the description a lot better. Layout 27. Whymoreai. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah. There we go. So, again, just tons of options, but just remember that main menu and system theme choices and options are sort of different and independent of each other. However, they do use a lot of the sort of art that I've done. Anyway, hopefully you enjoy it.